Tides have been rising my distance, the moon and my bone and commitment. My nights have been falling, I feel it. Searching for loss of a feeling. Ties that I'm lost, I don't miss it. Don't cry on me, I ain't no big bitch. Tides have been rising my distance, the moon and my bone and commitment.
What is going on, my Concise Conversation family? I hope you guys are all doing well today. Today I'm here with my boy Gerson. You go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm Gerson, fellow friend of Najja, and I'm a business owner, barber, and a UCR alumni. I graduated from UCR back in 2018, and here we have a business that's right on campus, and I've been cutting hair for a little over 10 years now. I've been knowing this guy for about 4 years, and yeah.
No, definitely. So, as he said that he's known me for 4 years now, so I mean, that's a while. He's been cutting my hair for my whole college experience, so I think he's definitely seen every phase of my hair, especially now that I'm starting my lock journey. I feel like this is like a new phase, so we're just gonna have a conversation while he gives me a cut, and then y'all are gonna see the results at the end.
Cool, tune in. Some big Laker fans, that's why you see
Come on now.
Gotta respect the dates.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, starting off, like, obviously, like, I'm a fourth year now. I'm about to graduate college, which, like, feels surreal. Especially knowing you, like, you knew me as a first year. So, my college experience has definitely been a ride. I've enjoyed every moment of it, even though, you have your low moments, but of course you're going to have your high moments. And there
you go.
Yeah, all right, cool. So, we had a few technical difficulties, but we're back now. So yeah, basically what I was saying was my college experience, I feel like, has shaped me into the person that I am today. And especially coming, as you know, like me coming from the East Coast, like I feel like it was very difficult coming here and like not having any community, not having any grounding here, and I really had to build that up myself. So now that I feel very stable and like how I am now, like I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to be, at UCR. So how was your experience at UCR, and how did it mold you to create J'Bez?
Well, I would say one of the most beautiful things about going to UCR, and I bet you can relate, and a lot of people can relate, is the people within the school is what makes the school great, because you can kind of find your crowd or your group wherever you go. You just really got to be open and talk to people. But UCR and just college in general, it helped me. It helped me come out of a shell that I didn't, once know that I was in. It helped me become the man I am today. It helped me find out the things I like and the things that I don't like. I was actually scared coming into college because I'm from the high desert,
right,
back in Palmdale. It's about an hour up north, northwest from here. And so I never even knew of Riverside. I didn't know anything about Riverside. So I was coming to. It felt like I was going to a whole different side of the country, even outside the country. But once I came here, I kind of built my ground. So I didn't really have anybody that came from my same high school. So it's a little different.
Right.
So I kind of came here just not knowing anybody, and I feel like that's one of the best things that happened to me. Because after that, I kind of just let myself be. I didn't stop myself from going to this activity because of one friend.
Right.
Stop myself from being a part of this group because of this person. So kind of just let myself be, and I feel like that's one of the coolest things about it. I was introduced to so many new culture, bro, and the diversity in this.
Sure.
Like, I didn't know somebody from another race can be almost not exactly like you, because no one's like you, but very similar to a person. So like I kind of meshed with a lot of different people that were from all over the country, all over the world, and it was cool just to see that connection that UCR brought. So that was one of my favorite things about UCR and my college experience. It was an eventful one. 4 years, kind of lived through it all. I started cutting hair my freshman year at the campus. I started cutting hair before that, but started doing it for people like freshman year. This became a business.
Right.
I went into the dorms, bro, into the bathroom, just cutting
hustling,
myself
bro.
up. I didn't even come with the mindset to hustle because I wanted to meet people. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna bring my stuff just to line myself up because I know I'm gonna need to look fresh.
Right.
And I didn't know if I could find a barber right away. So I was lining myself up in the bathroom, and one of the homies came in and just asked me what I was doing.
Right.
I just told him I'm cutting my hair, man.
No, for
sure. And he was shocked that that somebody in the hall was able to cut hair, and at least was like, at the time I'll easily say I was like about decent. So still doable. But basically, the business really started there. Really started because more people saw that I started cutting hair at the dorms. And $5 turned into $7. $7 turned into 10.
Definitely.
10 turned to 15, 15 to 20, 25, etc.
Exactly.
But yeah, that allowed me to see the vision or the lucrativeness in this industry, because everyone needs a haircut, right?
Of course.
If they knew you, you're like, oh, cool, I'll come to you. So just going to the campus helped me just realize that I like this a lot more than I thought I liked. But yeah, I mean, and then in terms of me graduating and stuff, I did business there, so it did help me find out the terminology when it comes to business and kind of like the theory of it. But man, I've learned so much since I started this in terms of business. Like once you, and I know you started to see this. Once you dabble in this, it's like a loophole that you just can't come out of. It's just so many different things. So school didn't necessarily prepare me for this, but it did help. It did help shape what would come, because you can't really be prepared for it because you don't know what's gonna come.
Exactly.
But at least, I guess you can say, you know what, it did prepare me.
Right, for sure. You have to look at both sides.
It definitely did prepare me. I just think that it's really hard to be fully prepared. Like in a business plan, it's not gonna all plan out the same, and life is the same too.
Exactly.
So you can't always plan and live day to day exactly the way you want to.
Exactly. No, I think you brought up a lot of great points, because the first thing I'll start with is just basically what you're saying is networking. Like that's how you meet people. That's how, and I say this in a lot of my videos. Like, who you know pays more than money sometimes. Like those connections and those like networking opportunities are priceless. And I feel like that's really the whole premise of my YouTube channel. Like, my YouTube channel is built around me bringing people on and allowing them to share their knowledge and their experiences. With everyone on my platform, and I think, that's what UCR has allowed me to do, like connect with so many different people that, I can learn something from each person that I, connect with, and that allows me to be a more complete and a more whole person. And like, I think when I do become, it's a working process, like you're saying, baby steps, but I think that, when you do become a more complete person, I can share that knowledge with other people and allow them to better themselves too. And I think that's the whole point. Like, you pay it forward. Like, you get something and, you feel gratitude for it, and then you're able to like give it back. And I think, at UCR, like you're saying, I have a lot of problems with the education system, like a lot, but number one, the price is just ridiculous. Like, I'm an out-of-state student, as you know, so like me paying out-of-state tuition and paying, however much I pay a quarter is ridiculous. No, and I think that's very unethical because like no person should ever have to go into that much debt for education, which I think, everyone has the privilege to get for free. That's why I definitely relate to you saying, it's a thin line. Like you think that your education prepared you, but at the same time, could you be where you are without it? And I think UCR, I'm in the same boat as you. Like I definitely think UCR prepared me to like, do what I'm doing now. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of value in experience, and I think going out and actually doing the thing like can get you sometimes a lot farther than a degree might at sometimes,
Yeah. What do they say? Your network is your net worth.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
It all starts with there. But yeah, I mean, going to what you were saying, it's from Kobe, man, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard enough.
Exactly.
It just goes down to that point. Life is very similar in different chapters and different scenarios, because really, like, even school may seem hard, right? You may be the smartest person. Let's say I'm not the smartest person. Right. And whatever says you're smarter, right? Exactly. But let's just say grade said you're smarter than me than I am.
Right.
But this quarter you're going through it, and I'm not. I'm on my thing, and I'm studying. I'm putting 3 times more work than you. More than likely, I'm gonna be the one that's coming out with the better grades, being smarter. So it's not really doing better. It doesn't equate to being smarter.
Exactly.
I feel like being smarter is just what you choose to do with your time, what
Right.
you choose to do with your actions. 'Cause
Exactly.
you take smarter decisions, right? So
Right.
it doesn't make you a smarter person. You're just being a smarter person.
Exactly.
So-
That makes a lot of sense. And I think, I think UCR has taught me to be a smarter person and like, be more level headed. And I think that also comes with, like we were saying before, like, growing up and like, I think, me going to California from Pennsylvania, like it has really given me the opportunity to like be independent and I think also observe and I think also like, see how people navigate the world because I feel like everyone navigates the world very differently and I think one thing I like about this YouTube channel is that I'm able to like gain a more holistic perspective of like how other people see the world and that's very different from how I see it and I think that can help you even in an entrepreneurial standpoint where your customers are gonna be different and although you want to niche down and find like your population like even that population is so diverse so I think it kind of goes back to networking where like those are skills that help you connect with so many different people that it's easy for you to build a customer base because you're able to connect to different people and like provide them a service that they want. Exactly. So I feel like especially in the UCR like community like you're able to work on your networking skills and work on being able to like connect with a lot of different people and like share experiences where being in a business like or owning a business is a little bit easier because you have those skills already like implemented within you.
Correct. Yeah, you talked about like giving sharing knowledge or just giving back, pay it forward. And I feel like that's in the like standpoint where I am with my life right now because I've been given a lot. Well, I've not just been given. I've worked for this knowledge.
Of course.
Have a lot more knowledge that I did 2 or 3 even last year. But me not passing it forward, sharing it with somebody like you or somebody that I see is trying to do their thing in this entrepreneurial world is almost selfish of me because if somebody didn't pass it down to me, I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today. Or maybe I would. It would just take me a little longer to get there. But it helped me at the end of the day. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing the same thing and even when I'm cutting someone's hair, even it doesn't have to be entrepreneur. It could be about classes. Man, I've changed people's. I didn't change people, but our conversation has changed people's mindset. It's changed their majors after this. It's changed because why? I feel like I just keep it real. I actually like try to just get the most honest response and an honest question, but ask you why you want to do this. And if you ask me something, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like this is how it is. And unfortunately, a lot of people in this country sugarcoat stuff.
Bro. No, for sure.
It's tough.
For sure. No, and like I have another question to ask you, but like just going off of that point, I think a good quality that you have and a good quality that a lot of barbershops have is like you're a good listener, and I feel like when people feel heard and they feel listened to, like that's when they are able to like be more vulnerable and like share what they're passionate about. And I even remember that you helped out. I don't remember the story exactly, but you helped out a kid who was designing shoes. And he was like, from what I remember, like he wasn't very confident in his skills or confident in like the product that he would be selling. And some people just need that little push, to say like, bro, what you're doing is amazing and like that needs to be shared. And I think, that's the opportunity that you have like owning a barbershop where naturally you just talk to a lot of different people and you hear a lot of people's experiences where like you have a lot of knowledge to share. And I feel like, like I'm saying, like some people just need someone to tell them like, no, what you're doing is right. And I think you should continue on that path. Did you have something to say?
No, I definitely agree because I didn't for a while. It took me a long time to really realize that I am people's inspiration in what I do and what I've done. Because to me, I'm just getting started. I'm not nowhere near where I want to be. So I'm not seeing that. But my mindset, it's not the same that it was 3 years ago. So somebody seeing that, I can see that because like I was once in their shoes. So yeah, man, everything like that's why I was even when you told me about this YouTube, you told me about this a while ago, and I was down to join then. I encourage success. I get your success is part of my success. So I feel like that's what makes me me. But yeah, that's what barbers as barbers, we're not just barbers.
Yeah,
we're
bro.
therapists, sometimes doctors,
Exactly,
lawyers,
exactly.
friends, everything. So once you get in this chair, I talked to you about this. Have you seen the movie Soul?
Yes.
Yeah, when you get in this chair, man, it's different. You
Exactly,
open up.
exactly.
You kind of. Well, you trust me to cut your hair,
For sure,
right? So you
for
trust
sure.
me with a lot of
Exactly,
conversation, information.
exactly.
So it comes to trust. You know,
Right,
so a lot of
right.
people, some people can give you that trust super easily,
Right.
but it takes a lot to get somebody to open up, and I definitely value that, and I definitely appreciate that people do it, and I tell people, and so I open up. So a lot of people
For
know
sure.
a lot about me.
No, for
But
sure.
that's
Me
because
too.
it's a-
Me too.
It's a thing that you want to reciprocate,
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
You were able to open up to me, which signifies trust. So let
Right.
me repay, not repay the favor, just
But
show you that
exactly.
I
it's on the same level.
Right, it's a mutual respect.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think one thing that you were talking about that I wanted to touch on is like I feel like I also had a hard time like realizing that I was people's inspiration too, because I remember like when I was not completely confident in myself, like one of my friends told me like, no bro, like I really feel like you're saving lives, and like that was something that I was like, I had to take a step back. I was like, whoa, like what is he even talking about, you know? And like I feel like that's like at the end of the day, like that's like imposter syndrome, bro. Like where you don't even have enough like confidence or like awareness, I guess you could say, about how significant you are in other people's lives. But I feel like that comes with knowledge, and that comes with you having more confidence in yourself, because I feel like everyone is someone's inspiration, and
Right.
you should see that in yourself, and I think at the end of the day you should be your own inspiration, like
Right.
so I think that's another really good trait that I think we both have, and that has helped us like in the entrepreneurial world. But what I was gonna ask you was, I know you touched on it a little bit, but how did you, being a business major, help you start a business?
Well, man, I think going on your podcast is definitely safe to say that I want to kind of share my story
For
here.
sure, definitely.
So the way it kind of happened, before I even answer his question, is I started cutting hair back in 2011. Yeah, so a little over 10 years ago, about 10 years ago. And I just started doing it for fun, man. I never really saw much in it until I started cutting other people's hair, and it just became a hobby.
Right.
And then I came here, and even when I was cutting hair here, it wasn't. I never wanted to become a barber. I never wanted to say I was a barber. It wasn't that it was looked upon, down upon. It was just, I just had bigger goals.
Right.
So.
Right.
And I wasn't focused on that, but here I was, busting my behind to do school, do good in school, pay for my education, because I had to work. And then I had to work jobs that I didn't really like to be there. I didn't really like the bosses. So it's a lot of things that you can say that I was doing that I didn't like. So sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I found some like peace or sanctuary in cutting hair because of this exactly here, just communicating, and I'm still getting paid for that. So and I got better and better. So I started seeing like cutting hair more as an avenue of a career as opposed to a hobby. And I started seeing the little differences in it, and I started sparking my interest in the business side of it. So I started asking barbers, how much you make here, how much you make, how much you charge, how long do you take? Questions, because I knew the business end of it. I did multiple business or case studies for my business classes. I wrote, I've actually done business classes, business plans, multiple. So I knew what to look for, what questions to ask, but I didn't necessarily didn't know what it took to run a business. But I was asking the right questions. Then I saw, man, this is actually real lucrative if you run it right. If you run it, and I saw that a lot of shops, they weren't accepting card. They weren't taking appointments. When they were, it wasn't standard. I mean, it wasn't customized. It was a standardized appointment. Everyone's 30 minutes. Had a lot of flaws in their system. And I'm like, man, like my business class literally says do this, this, and this, and they're missing this, and this. I'm like, man, like this is an easy avenue. If you go to other industries, they're already doing that. So I'm like, all right, I like this. So and this is me being honest with you, telling the story as true as it is. I did not go to the intention. I had the plans. I had something in my back of my head, like, hey, do a business plan. I have a few friends that, you know, were getting some money inherited, and were telling me, hey, you know, if you make a good business plan and you show it to me, I'll throw in. So I knew it was possible, and I was gonna go study abroad in Spain for 3 months. It's the beginning of 2018. So I said, I literally told him before I left, when I'm out there, I'll start the business plan and we'll see where it goes. It was just a little idea that we just threw in the air.
Right.
And I go, bro, and I take a class called entrepreneurship, and that was the class that literally changed my life because. He basically, it was a Shark Tank. We watched Shark Tank for half the class. Okay, We actually lived the Shark Tank. We were sharks in ourselves when we weren't, I guess you can say, the actual person going in to tell the business. Because his thing was, you have no assignments, you have no tests, you have nothing. You're just going to make a realistic business plan. At the end of the quarter, you're going to present it in front of your classmates, and they're going to be sharks with fake money. That's basically going to be your grade. So I was like, there's only 8 people, 9 people, so we can talk like we're talking like this. Bro, my professor is my mentor now, multi-millionaire, easy, bro. You know, owner of a hedge fund, owner of other different businesses, and he really sparked the light in my head because for the first 8 classes, because I have him 2 times a week. For the first 8 classes, each class was a new story of a new business that he created. Dang. How I did this, how I did that. I'm there, bro. Pen and paper or writing something, because I'm like, wow, like, bro, this is like,
he did it,
yeah, he's giving you all the insight. So I saw that it's possible to do it. So I took it and I ran with it, man. After that, I had a good business plan. It was where we actually were at too. Everything, the place. So he told me he really liked the idea. Everybody really liked it too. Because somebody, I know now but if 2 years ago somebody were to ask you like, hey, make a realistic business plan right off the bat, it's probably not gonna be that good because you're like, dude, this is right off the bat. I'm not ready. So a lot of my classmates, they were just like, this is for fun. You have a real idea. Well, my professor liked it so much that he flew out to Cali the month after to help me come negotiate and open up for the lease.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'll see you in Cali in a month. And I didn't think he was serious, and he was texting me, so I was like, dude, I gotta look for a place. So I came back my senior year, and I just told my friends, like, remember the friend that I was telling you had like money and hair? I was like, bro, it's happening. Like, you know, I might need you, I might not, but it's happening. I made a business plan out there. You know, I need partners, so I was in the process of getting partners. I found Will, and I was like, you know, that was my first and biggest partner. And after that, J'Bez was created because of him. The name came there. Me and him planted the roots, and we just started working. We were, you know, down the street, but it wasn't pretty in the beginning. I was a graduate with my bachelor's degree, making less than minimum wage, but supporting my dream. You know? So I had to go through those moments, bro. I had graduated, and I remember I was more broke after I graduated than when I was in school, bro. Like, I really was. I had to call my dad sometimes, like, hey, Dad, like, I can't pay the car note this month. Like, can you help me out? And I hated that. Of course. And my dad supported this dream, bro. But I knew that in the back of his head, I mean, I'm trying to put myself in his perspective. Yeah, he's like, bro, you just graduated from college. You have your bachelor's degree. You could be making good money or go to work for a company. Here you are. You don't even know how much you're going to get paid. You know, but taking a big risk. But, man, I love my dad because he supported me.
That's what it's about.
He never once doubted me. He never told me, like, I mean, he did tell me, like, hey, why don't you do something more career-oriented? But that's the knowledge that I gave him. I didn't just get mad. I told him I'm using it. You know, I studied like business, baby steps, marketing. Right now you may not see it, but we're planting the roots, and now you see it with the website, with the Instagram.
I see it with everything.
So, but it took time, man. It took. I couldn't do everything. Will couldn't do everything. We just can't. That's why you got to get a good team because you can't do everything, man.
Yeah, I think you know, one thing that I can really feed off of what you were saying, I think mindset is really very important in the entrepreneur world, because specifically for me too, like I started, like you were saying, like I told you about this YouTube idea a very long time ago, like, and it's been a year now that I've had this channel, and I think it's been a wild journey. But you know, the mindset that I had with this YouTube channel was always like, I'm gonna treat it as a business, because you know, from all the work and effort and time, you know, and hard work that I'm putting in, like I want to get a payout. Even though, you know, I'm doing it because I'm passionate about it. I'm doing it because I love to do it. It's a lot of fun, and you know, it feeds my creative side. But at the end of the day, like, you know, why would you not think of it as a business if, you know, the opportunity is there, you know, and I think I would never want to give up on that opportunity. So that's why I do treat it as a business, and I think treating it as a business even makes it more fun because you have more ownership over it, and you know you can really track the growth and the progress of your business, and you get happy like when you see the results. And I'm just gonna take this like time right now to like shout out like an organization on campus called Launchpad at UCR. I don't know if you've heard of it, but yeah, for sure. And one of my bros actually was telling me about it because he has a business. Shamey and Sebastian, there's an episode, you guys can go back to it. But you know, they talked about how much, you know, how privileged we are to be students, you know, in this time right now where campuses and universities, and specifically UCR, is looking to help students be entrepreneurs. And I think, you know, a lot of people don't know about those resources, and, you know, they're there for us. Like, you can't get it if you're not at UCR. So, you know, while you're at UCR, you should take advantage of it. And so that's exactly what I did. Like, I emailed them, and and they answered very quickly, again, because I feel like not a lot of people know about these resources. And I talked to the lady. Her name is Francisca Reyes. She's a completely dope person. Like, she told me her story, I told her mine, and she said, this is a mutual thing. You know, I can help you, and you can help me. And I think that's what it's about at the end of the day. Like we were saying before, like paying it forward. And yeah, and now she just emailed me actually before I came here, and she told me about an interview because she wants to have a segment for UCR for Black History Month. And I think that's just, you know, that's taking initiative, and that's putting your name out there because, again, like, especially in the entrepreneur world, like, I think a lot of people have a fear about, you know, promoting their business and, like, really just asking for help, I guess, at the end of the day. And I think, you know, there should be no fear around it. Like, you know, with me and my YouTube channel, I think as soon as I started it, I told everyone I knew because, you know, at the end of the day, especially because the premise of my YouTube channel is that everyone has their own story to bring, you know, I wanted everyone to know that this platform was not just for me. I think it was a platform for everyone to come and share their experiences. And, like, I think that's ultimately what I want it to be, like a platform for everyone to, like, come and, like, feel respected and honored and, like, listen to. And I think I can do that while I also still, like, have a business. And I think that's, like, a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. I think one thing that you said there that really stood out, and this is one of my New Year goals, and all you followers should really think about it too. Yeah. This year, man, whatever you do it with intention. Don't half-ass anything. Don't do something to see how it does. Because really, that's half-assing the work. That's not really. You might as well have not done it.
Straight up.
You know, if you have to. Anything that you do with intention and effort, you're eventually gonna see progress. You know, you might not be the best at it, but you're gonna be better than you were before. So that's definitely one thing that I'm myself trying to follow as I preach is do everything with an intention. You know, even when you said business, like, yeah, let's say you do a business, but you don't want anybody to know, so you don't need to tell anybody. So really, no one has a business, so no one can help you out. So now your business, you know, fails. 5 years later, you're sharing the, you know, story with some of your friends that were there 5 years before, and they're like, dude, I would have helped you. Exactly, bro. You know, closed mouths don't get fed. Exactly. Exactly. So that's what we're trying to get to is that don't half-ass anything. When I opened this up, I told everyone. The reason why people don't do it too is the fear of rejection and the fear of not just failure, but constructive criticism. Like, hey, bro, your cut, like, it was okay, but this is what my barber does, and he does better. Not saying, like, hey, bro, you know, like, don't cut hair. It's just constructive criticism. How can I make myself better? By you being honest. You know, that's really the only way. So, yeah, man, it takes some courage and effort to say, this is what I'm doing. Come see what I'm doing, because now you can see everything that I'm doing, you know. And technically, I said this is me, so now it reflects on me. Going into that, I'm gonna just start based on this is. When you do a business, the hardest thing is that everything does come down. I can't just leave today and hope someone's gonna clean up tomorrow. You know, I can't just sleep in tomorrow and hope someone's gonna, you know, open. I mean, luckily built the business to where it's not just me. And luckily, yes, if I were to leave this, it would be good tomorrow. And if I were to wake up late, business would be open. And that's what I'm grateful for. But it wasn't like this in the beginning. You have to build it. Those days and nights that people don't see. You putting in the work, you need to, you need to.
No, definitely, and like, I was even having a conversation with one of my friends the other day, about like, there's like, just I feel like I'm an overthinker, so I like to like put pieces together. And I was just thinking about like growing up, I love to play like games where you could create your own character, like 2K, My Player, like even like I forget a game like Wizard 101. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but like you had this wizard online and you built up your wizard and like you powered him up and all of that. And I think the reason why I really like those games is because like you're saying, like the responsibility was on you. Like you had all the responsibility to level up your 2K player and get him to that 95 rating that you wanted, And if you didn't, that was on you. And then if your player was bad, that was on you, And I think that's the mentality that people should have about their own lives, Like don't you always want to level up, Don't you always want to like be better than the person that you were yesterday? Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very undervalued mentality to have because not everyone has it at the end of the day.
Correct, bro. It's being, again, going back to constructive criticism, being able to take those, like, hey, you didn't do that good today. Hey, you didn't do this, but you're still doing better than you were before or yesterday. But yeah, I mean, that's a great mentality that you have that during school, man, because it took me a while to really like take that leap of faith and kind of keep trusting on myself because I didn't have what you're building is great too. It's a community of people that have like-minded mindsets or like-minded mindsets. But it's cool because I didn't have this when I was starting this. I didn't have someone I can talk to. I didn't have, and back then too. I mean, I'm not that old or anything, but YouTube is now becoming a great source of education, a great source of community. It wasn't that big. It was still big, but it wasn't like people were getting paid like this. And now, it's an incentive to do it. But it's cool seeing all these communities being built, or I guess you can say people in the community, younger people in the community, going out their way to start something or to actually go into something like Launchpads, because a lot of people don't, or Launchpads, sorry, a lot of people don't know about it. But I think it's if you just help UCR students or fellow classmates know about it, more programs like this will get built because more interest is going to be there. But